Welcome to Karibu Anawim's program, 15 Minutes at Dr. Zali's Desk, where we explore topics related to living with a facial disfigurement. This program is for you, your loved ones, for educational purposes and professionals who would like to know more about living with facial disfigurement. Our presenters have lived experience, research background, or work with people living with facial disfigurement. It's important to begin the conversation with terminology that society understands and is clear. We use the word disfigurement as it is the medical and legal terminology. We recognise you may identify with other words such as visible difference or with your own diagnosis. Let's see where the conversation goes. So pull up a seat, grab a cuppa, and let's chat around the table with Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zali's Desk.
Hi, and welcome back. Wonderful day it is. This is Friday, the last Friday of August. And last week, we looked at the pros and cons of the different forms of non-disclosure versus self-disclosure and what are the pros and cons about that. And this week, you guys have been very busy. Oh dear, I've got a cough. Sorry, you guys have been very busy. We got 10 questions today, would you believe? 10 questions. Thank you very much for them. And I could have paraphrased them, but I decided that I wouldn't because we can talk to them very quickly and get through them all very briefly. And because different people's way of questioning might resonate with you, if that makes sense. So welcome to those who are already with us and who are going to be presenting or who's going to be talking or watching later on. Should we get started? I think we will. Hang on, I've got to get my cursor. There we go. Let's go to question one. The question one is, how do I support my child to decide when it is safe to share information about their FD, facial disfigurement, or facial difference with classmates who have made comments, had reactions both good and poor, or who are very personal questions, or have asked very personal questions? That's a very loaded question. However, the fact is that it isn't always safe to share, and you don't know who's safe to share and who's not safe to share with. Sometimes it's trial and error sometimes, and we might disclose, but we can't foresee how a person's going to react to our disclosure. So all we can do is share and learn to share in a positive light. You know, that might be something that we talk about next month, how to share in a positive way through next month's topic. For personal questions, if a person's asking your child personal questions and they don't want to answer them, they could practice something like, I'm not talking about that now. Let's go and play such and such, or even diffuse and say, how was your day? Something like that, or even pointing blank and saying, I don't feel comfortable answering that question, or I'm not answering that question, that is too personal. Or one savvy little way might be that they could ask another completely personal question back to them, as in, I'm not quite sure, I'm not that quite savvy. But that came to me. It was like, oh yeah, you could, if you wanted to ask, if they were asking a personal question, then they could turn around and ask them the same or a similar personal question back, sort of thing, to maybe get them to think that, oh, perhaps that's not the right question to answer or ask. So that might be one way. Question two. When should I let someone know information about my facial disfigurement, FD for short? When they ask, when you feel comfortable, and how you feel comfortable, how would you feel comfortable, or how would you feel more powerful in that time frame? Would you feel more powerful in in disclosing or not disclosing? It could be a way to break the ice or to address the elephant in the room. Question 3. Do I have to explain to anyone about my facial disfigurement? Technically, no. No, you don't. But because it's on our face and we can't get away with it, sometimes we can mask some things. Sometimes if I wear my sunglasses, then that hides things, hides my eye, and that's just because it's sunny out there and I don't usually wear them on a non-sunny day. So do you have to explain to anyone about your facial disfigurement? No, you don't. But the benefits are of self-disclosure, and proper self-disclosure, as in not not telling lies, is that you get to create the story and you get to correct the story that's inside people's head about you. So they may have an image or a thought process. For example, when someone drives a red hot Ferrari, who do we automatically think? What automatically comes up to my mind? What automatically comes up to my mind is an old man or who wants to sow his oats. I'm sorry, I'm just being completely honest. Or a young strapping lad who wants to get girls, kind of thing. If I'm making this family friendly, and so that by self-disclosing, you get to correct the story that's in someone else's head, because I'm sure that not all red hot Ferrari drivers are anything like that, but that's our stereotypical fashion. Yeah, that's our stereotypical mindset. And then also you get, by explaining, you get to flex your brilliance and create an environment that's safe enough for others to share their experiences if they want to. Question 4. If my friend has a facial disfigurement, should I ask them about it? And from Kariba Wanawim and from our viewpoint, it is yes. Yes. And they may wish you did or didn't, depending. But, if you respectfully do so and be specific about it, so you couldn't say to them, like, I'm just using me as an example. You couldn't say, oh, may I ask what happened to your face? Because I can then say, there's nothing wrong with my face. What about yours? But if you had said, I'm sorry, but I haven't brought this up before, but I'm wondering whether or not you feel comfortable in sharing the story about your right eye, then I've got no wriggle room, because you've said it's my eye, you've asked me nicely, and then I can divulge, or I can say no. Question 5. What are the bonuses that sometimes happen when I tell people about my facial disfigurement and how it affects my life, my friendships, my friends, my children and my dreams, etc.? Well, authenticity. I've learnt recently that authenticity has actually a very attractive frequency, right? And that being authentic is very attractive for people to listen to and feel. They know when they know, or you know yourself, when someone's being phony, or whether or not they're being real, or whether or not you're not quite sure what's happening there. Yeah. So the bonuses of telling people about yourself and about your story is that you're being your authentic self. That's great. and you don't have to mask and you don't have to hide. And being real allows other people to understand what creating friendships, maintaining friendships, and having children, and then all the other things. My hairdo is done completely today. I better not take it out because my child has done my hair today. It's done beautifully, and so something like that. That's real, and that gets people thinking and knowing what us as a community have to deal with, the fun, the ugly, warts and all kind of thing, the cake can eat it too sort of thing. Just a caveat here, that you shouldn't share anything that you're not willing to share and you don't feel comfortable with, okay? On the whole, people are nice and want to understand. However, there's that one other person that may not be so nice and may use the information that you disclose about your life. And that's the reason why I will share what I share, and I'm very choosy or fussy not choosy, selective, that's the word, selective on what I choose to share, because this is live, this is across the internet, and it's out there. And not all people are nice. So some people are not very nice and may use the information negatively. So that's the little caveat before we go to number 6. So question 6 is, what's a simple, quick, no-nonsense version of telling people that I live with FED or facial disfigurement? This question will be addressed in next month. Stay tuned. It's all about how you wish to tell your story. And in September, that's what we're going to be doing for the whole entire month. Question 7 is, I get asked what happened a lot, and sometimes I joke and tell them outlandish stories before actually disclosing, and is that okay? Well, the outlandish stories that you tell is called false disclosure, and that is a manner of disclosing, but is that your authentic self? For you, is that a way that you work up the courage and pluck up the courage to actually work up to properly self-disclosing? Or I was thinking maybe, and I'm not saying that it is, but could it be a way somehow to try and get back at society for always wanting you to disclose? I wonder, what's the purpose for? What's the purpose of telling outlandish stories? Who does it serve? Why spend, I'm questioning, my question for you might be, why spend that energy on such a disclosure when it could be put to telling the truth? When a person has actually asked you what's happened, they, and you can generally tell whether or not they're genuine or not. They don't know that you've had this 10 times this day, as well as a lot of stares, as well as a lot of avoidance, as well as a lot of winks, like people do with me. I think yesterday I self-disclosed twice. I had 2 winks and I had 1 avoidance, and that was one time out in public for about an hour. So they don't know that that's happened to you. To them, it's just their question and they're asking. And I would ask myself, is it respectful? And would you like it if you had genuinely asked that question to be given such a story? You can do it. It's okay. But I'm just wondering what the purpose of that would be. So question 8, 2 more to go after this. How can you politely choose not to disclose when asked what happened? Very good question. Boldly say, I don't think that my facial disfigurement is any concern to you, and change the subject. You could say, I don't want to discuss it. You could say, I don't have time right now. Or at the moment, I don't feel comfortable with that. Or no thanks. Or I don't feel comfortable doing that. Question number 9 is, does not feeling comfortable with wanting to disclose a sign that I need to deal with my facial disfigurement? Well, not wishing to or feeling comfy to disclose is perhaps something to take to counselling, yes. There's nothing wrong with actually reaching out for some assistance, a therapist that, and you might need to work on some touchy areas, some hurt areas that are uncomfortable and ucky, because this is what therapy is. This is what counselling is. Counselling is not all happy chappy. Counselling is not all, you do what the therapist says, because the therapist shouldn't be saying very much to do anyway. They should be just listening to you and getting what you need, and then maybe guiding you in some different thoughts and different aspects. But sometimes therapy is uncomfortable, and we do ask these awkward questions. Not because we want to be horrible and mean, but because we would like you to think about something maybe a different way, or get to a root of a problem that you may think about. Or sometimes, and then it's getting to that root cause that may allow you to feel more comfortable with disclosing. Don't know. And number 10, because we've had 10 questions today, or this month, is, does finally feeling okay to disclose mean, when asked, mean that I am, let's try and say that again. Does finally feeling okay to disclose when asked mean that I'm mentally okay with my disfigurement now and I don't feel ashamed of it? That's a very personal question. And I think it means that you have a healthy way of dealing with someone's curiosity, but does it mean that you're okay and no longer feel ashamed? I don't know. But I do know that it's a healthy way of self-disclosing, is a healthier way of living, yes. But how we get there is really hard and really tricky. So I can't really answer that question really well. Does it mean that I don't feel ashamed? I don't know. Only you can answer that question. We've talked a lot about self-disclosure and non-disclosure this week or this month. And remember that it's okay not to be okay. And remember this week to try and take some time out for yourself and with your family to be kind to yourself and practice some self-care. Let's go, and for the last time, we're going to put all 3 of our pituitary release, the hypothalamus reset, and the pineal support together. Are you ready for this? Pituitary release is 3 fingers at the front of you, at the front of your head, your middle finger in the middle of your eyebrows, and the other 2 fingers next to it in the just resting above in your eyebrow socket sort of thing area, like in where your eyes are. And I burnt myself with something. That's the reason why I've got a little mark on my arm today. And with your last 3 fingers, put them right at the back of your nape of your neck, where your neck meets your skull, and then we lift on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lift up and breathe in through your nose and out. Let's do that again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lift and out through your nose. And one more. Breathe in and lift and breathe out through your nose. And your hypothalamus reset is your 2 fingers in the indentations of the sides of your head, rubbing in a backward circular motion. Ready? Let's do that for a few times. Breathing in through your nose and out. Breathing in and breathing out. In the pineal support, put your palms in the indentations of your head, near your eyes, and breathe and lift. Yes? Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Oh, and we should have relaxed in between all those. But those are lovely. Hang on. Oh, yes. My body's just calming down. I'm not quite sure what's happening with my voice today. My voice is a bit croaky. Next week, we've got the month of September, would you believe? And September's topic is the power of story and writing your own story. And next week, we're looking at what is a story. So thank you very much for coming in. Oh, look, we've got 2 comments. One says, hello, Dr. Zali. How does self-disclosure help you help the other person? Does it give you a sense of being in control of your life? That is a very good question, Liz. Thank you very much for that one. Yes, self-disclosure helps you be your authentic self and helps you gain friends. Unfortunately, that's just the case. and jobs, would you believe? And that sort of stuff. But it also gives the opportunity to the other person and helps the other person be more relaxed around you and actually know what's happening. I know it shouldn't be the case, but 9 times out of 10 it is the case, and that helps. So does it give you a sense of being in control? Yeah. You can feel powerful. When you actually self-disclose and someone actually listens and is very supportive of you, yeah, that is a very, very, very good way, and that's a very powerful way of being in control of that part of your life for that moment in time. So thank you very much, and it's our time to go. So I will get rid of the banner and I'll say bye-bye. And we'll go and grab the outro. See you later.
Oh my gosh, it's the end of Karibu Anawim's 15 Minutes at Dr. Zali's Desk. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember that all information given during this episode is for general application only. If you have any specific medical issues, as always, consult with your medical practitioner. Like, subscribe and share on whatever platform you find us on. For more information, please connect with Karibu Anawim on our website at karibuanawim.com or email us at inquiries@karibuanawim.com.